And we are in our next stanza, starting at line 19. They made a calf in Horeb and worshipped the molded image. Thus they changed their glory into the image of an ox that eats grass. They forgot God their Savior, who had done great things in Egypt, wondrous works in the land of Ham, awesome things by the Red Sea. Therefore he said that he would destroy them, had not Moses, his chosen one, stood before him in the breach, to turn away his wrath, lest he destroy them. Now let's go back and elaborate on line 19. It sends us to Exodus 32, 1 through 4. Exodus 32, 1 through 4. That says, Now when the people saw that Moses delayed coming down from the mountain, the people gathered together to Aaron and said to him, Come, make us gods that shall go before us. For as for this Moses, the man who brought us up out of the land of Egypt, we do not know what has become of him. And Aaron said to them, Break off the golden earrings which are in the ears of your wives, your sons, and your daughters, and bring them to me. So all the people broke off the golden earrings which were in their ears, and brought them to Aaron. And he received the gold from their hand, and he fashioned it with an engraving tool, and made a molded calf. Then they said, This is your God, O Israel, that brought you out of the land of Egypt. All right, and so that is referring to in Psalm 106, 19, that says they made a calf in Horeb and worshiped the molded image. Now, to me, Aaron should have gotten in trouble for this. He should have stood his ground and said, no, we're not doing that. He already knew how God felt about not making graven images, not putting things before God. And so he let the people coerce him to making a golden image. And he the one who told them what to do in order to fashion a golden calf. Let's look at 20. Thus they changed their glory into the image of an ox that eats grass. So they changed their image. Thus they changed their glory into the image of an ox that eats grass. So an ox that eat grass, and that became their god. And so it sends us to Romans 1:23. Romans 1:23. That says, and now this is talking about the reason of Gentile guilt. And so where it says that it says, and change the glory of the incorruptible God into an image made like corruptible man, birds and four-footed beasts and creeping things. So let me just go read up to 18 so you can understand the gist of what is being said. So, for the wrath of God is revealed from heaven against all ungodliness and unrighteousness of men who suppress the truth and unrighteousness. So they hold down the truth and unrighteousness, because what may be known of God is manifest in them, for God has shown it to them. So what is known of God is evident among them, for God has shown it to them. For since the creation of the world, his invisible attributes are clearly seen, being understood by the things that are made, even his eternal power and Godhead, so that they are without excuse. We have no excuses because we know the power of the divine nature of God. Because although they knew God, they did not glorify him as God, nor were thankful, but became futile in their thoughts, and their foolish hearts were darkened. Professing to be wise, they became fools and changed the glory of the incorruptible God, because God can't be corrupted, and to an image made like corruptible man, or man that can perish, and birds and four-footed beasts and creeping things. So all those things can perish. The only one out of this list right here is God. He can't perish. Man can perish, four-footed beasts can perish, creeping things, all that can perish. And so, and they would choose to worship that than to worship the incorruptible God, the unperishable God. And so going back to Psalm 106, 20, so it says, for they changed their glory into the image of an ox that eats grass, something that perishes, something that needs, something that God created to sustain life. All right, so let's go ahead and pause here, and we'll pick it up in our next segment.